All right, my friends, welcome back to Salt City Counseling. Once again, my name's Scott. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah. And in this video, I'm going to address something that's probably going to come with a little bit of controversy. Let me scoot in just a little bit. This has been on my mind for quite some time, and I've held off on making this video, or I've recorded previous videos and not really loved how they've turned out. But this is a very, very prevalent issue. It's something that has come up a lot recently, and it just needs to be talked about. In this video, I'm going to discuss and address the main reasons why I support the use of psychedelic medicines for therapy and treating mental illness and for mental health issues. And realizing that psychedelic medicines have spent decades shrouded in darkness with fear and demonized by law enforcement and the like, and we are experiencing a renaissance and a shift in public opinion in regards to psychedelic medicines. Most people are familiar with certain medicines. Ayahuasca is one that comes up a lot. People hear a lot about ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is pretty popular among public figures and celebrities. They like to travel down to Costa Rica or Peru or whatever and visit a shaman and and go through an ayahuasca ceremony. And in regards to the current movement in incorporating psychedelic substances and therapy, ayahuasca is not really applied. It's kind of a heavy hitter. It's hard to find. It's not like you can only get the ingredients from the jungle, like from the rainforest. But let me get into this. Let me talk about the reasons why I actually do support the use of these. The number one reason is strongly supported by research. Last year, I read some extensive documentation on a lot of the studies that are being done, the studies that have been done, with extremely impressive results. And in some cases, the results are more impressive than just about anything else that is being tried or has been tried, particularly when it comes to things that are really difficult to treat. And that's just sort of the truth about our state of affairs these days, is that a lot of things are just really difficult for us to treat. And frankly, the therapy world, the mental health industry, is not very good at treating a number of things. And I'll get more into that. But the research is supporting very, very positive outcomes for a number or a variety of things. I read one study that where they used psilocybin, which is the active chemical in mushrooms, to treat people who had trouble with smoking and couldn't quit smoking, and with incredible results. After 1 year, I think 60% of the people had still quit for good. I think within 30 days, 80% of them had quit, but after a year, that's still 60% of them had quit smoking. And that, by the way, comes without really nasty side effects, because there are medications. I know there's at least one medication you can take that'll help you quit smoking, but it comes with some really nasty side effects. So you can go check it out yourself. You can go to clinicaltrials.gov, for example, and if you typed in psilocybin, if you don't know how to spell it, psilocybin, I believe, psilocybin. And the last time I did this, it brought up close to, I believe, 140-ish results of studies that have been done in the past, currently, or are planned, or that have been approved to be done to study the effects of psilocybin across many, many different populations, including eating disorders, migraines, autism, personality disorders, major depression, treatment-resistant depression, complex PTSD, and a whole slew of others. And a lot of times there's way, way, way better results than just about anything else that has come along. Particularly worth noting, antidepressants, mood stabilizers, SSRIs, the psychedelics, psilocybin in particular, or ketamine, for example. Ketamine is one of those that has gotten excellent results in treating depression, in treating treatment-resistant depression, especially compared to something like ECT. I already recorded a video on this, on the ketamine thing, and so it'll probably be published after this one, though. But go check it out. So that's reason number one, is why I support this, is because it is actually supported strongly by research. And that's to say that the outcomes with the research are really positive when It's used correctly, when it's monitored, when it's correctly supported, when it's correctly guided, and the people are helped and supported throughout the process. And some of you, I'm sure, have seen this, where somebody will be given a reasonably high dose of psilocybin, for example, and there's one or two people that hang out with them the entire time, and impressive results. So that's reason number one. Reason number two why I support this is because, frankly, we in the mental health industry are in over our heads these days. We're fighting a ground war, and we're losing. We're losing badly. To be completely honest, there's a whole bunch of stuff that is difficult for us to treat, and we're just not very good at it as a whole. Addictions, eating disorders, OCD, just to name a few. PTSD, complex PTSD, very difficult things to treat, and we just frankly need better tools. We really do. This is a high burnout field. It's a high burnout profession. A lot of therapists are leaving. It's a profession that is becoming more and more scarce. And we just cannot meet the demands of the community. And people deserve to heal. People deserve to they just deserve to be able to use what they feel might be able to help them in regards to curing some of these things or helping some of these things. We really are seeing some intense mental health epidemics these days, and there are lots of positive reports that psychedelics can really help and help a lot. And I'll probably do a different video on this, but what exactly is it about psychedelics that helps? It just helps people break out of what the patterns that they've been stuck in. But I will probably save that for a different video. Those are the two main reasons why I'm very in support of this. I've talked to a lot of people who have found and had really amazing, excellent healing and positive experiences from this. The trick is being able to successfully integrate or incorporate those experiences into daily life and making those adjustments so that a person isn't just having a nice time and going back to this miserable life. You've got to, if you decide to use them, make changes. Okay, so I'm going to end this video with a major disclaimer here. And the major disclaimer is essentially this. Please don't just go dive headfirst into this. Don't just go find some of these substances and recklessly just take a whole bunch of them. A lot of people are out there doing that. I don't advise it. A lot of people I've also heard are getting really bad experiences when they're mixing drugs. Like, I've seen this on Reddit, man, where people are like, oh, I had a horrible trip. And they'd be like, oh, I took this enormous dose of mushrooms and smoked this enormous amount of weed. And it's like, okay, right? Like, stop it, right? Stop overdoing it. Stop abusing it. Stop mixing them and then being like, oh, these are a bad idea. Take them in moderation. Be wise. Be smart. Use your head. Don't just dive into it. Especially, here's my other disclaimer. Especially if you have a lot of complex PTSD, if there's a lot of difficult things in your past or in your psyche that you openly or deliberately kind of avoid looking at or have basically stuffed down. If you stuff down a lot of things, it can really surface and come at you in a kind of an intense way. So be aware of those types of risks. Do your research. Know what kind of risks are involved with doing this type of thing. Especially if you're the type of person who struggles to manage your emotions properly. Okay. So all of that being said, those are the main reasons why I do actually support psychedelics. They are actually proving to be effective in helping people when applied correctly. And that's just sort of the bottom line. So leave your comments and questions below. I really enjoy getting listener or viewer questions. So you can put them in the comments below, or you can email me, scottsy@saltcitycounseling.com. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a subscribe and a like and all that while you're here. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.